Live. We are live. PRI 2024. Anybody who's been following us all day is probably like, yeah, we get it, you're at PRI. But I wanted to take a minute and run through both the Langmuir Systems booth and the Shop Saver booth, show you everything that they've got going on. There are some PRI only discounts, and there's some new stuff that has debuted just at PRI. So again, Tay here from Lift Arc. We run a fab shop in Roanoke, Virginia. You know that, you're already watching the channel. But behind me is Langmuir Systems, Shop Saver. They make tools that make fabricating easier and more fun. We honestly have a lot of their stuff in our shop and super love it. You know, we use their tables all the time, but I want to jump into some things that you haven't seen us show you on our channel and see what you think. So first up is the Crossfire series of plasma tables. This handsome man, Zach, is guarding. Actually, no, he's the keeper of the CNCs. They have right here in the booth, this is the Pro, right? So this is,
yes, this is the Crossfire Pro.
You have the Crossfire Pro, and the Crossfire XR, and they kind of go up in size, right?
Yep, it goes up from a 2x2. We got an add-on for a 2x3. Goes up to this one right here, which is the Crossfire Pro, which is a 4x3. And then we have a 4x8 table, which is the XR.
Full 4x8 is awesome at this entry for sure, man.
Yeah, and it's an amazing price for all of these. The Crossfire starts at $1,500, and then it goes up to the Crossfire Pro here at a starting price of $3,300, and then the XR is $6,500.
And you can get base, but then you can also get things like torch height control,
yep,
laptop stand. You know, you can option it out all you want.
Yeah, especially the smaller one, you can option out. So you can get anything that you want. It's super customizable. So if you don't need a laptop stand, say you got a desk right next to it, you can add that on. Or if you don't want torch height control, you can always take that off as well.
Let's look around it real quick, shall we? So, you know, I've put together some of y'all's, you know, we've got some of y'all's tools in the shop. I would say one of the things you guys do really well is like the instructions, the assembly stuff, the tutorials.
Yeah.
I imagine that's well liked.
Oh yeah, everybody loves the fact that we have pictures for everything that you need. All the assembly guides have fully illustrated stuff to tell you exactly what you need to do. And so we have tons of guides as well for tramming this carriage as well, so super great.
I know you use razor weld plasma cutters. How's the cut quality, the cut capacity, and all that on these things?
Oh yeah, the razor weld's great. It goes up to 1/2 inch. It can cut all the way down to 22 gauge as well if you want. And as you can see here, cut quality is really good.
This is a 3/8 plate, half inch?
This is 3/8, so close to 1/2 inch, and you got some pretty good cut quality here. You have very little amount of kerf angle here.
This was cut on this machine?
Yeah, this was cut with a razor weld 45 on this machine.
There we go, man. And you can just cut it in air, but can you also put additive in here, like a water table?
Yeah, you can add water into this. We also suggest some other sort of anti-rust solutions as well, which you can get any type that you want.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the water table is really great.
Look how small this is. You know, a 3x4, you guys don't push the machine much past that size, so it can really fit in a tight spot.
Oh yeah, it's great, especially for hobbyists as well, because it can just fit in your garage. This is the perfect size for pretty much anybody who's looking into getting into CNC. It's just a great machine.
It's never been this affordable, man. Yep. This particular one is sold. If you are still thinking of coming to PRI, you definitely should. There are some PRI exclusive discounts that you can get here. But of course, everything else is at langmuirsystems.com, right?
Yes, that is correct. And we have all the options available there. And you just get sent an email just with all of the pricing for it, and you'll be good to go.
It's a great place to start in CNC plasma, for sure.
Got some questions?
Yeah.
Does it come with a plasma cutter?
It does not come with a plasma cutter. That is something that you can buy through us. You can also get your own. So if you happen to have some other plasma cutter at home, we provide all the hardware needed to hook that up to our machine. And so that's not something that you necessarily have to get.
But they can order the razor weld plasma through you guys.
Yes, correct. You can get the razor weld through us, and you can also get Hypertherm 45s up to an 85 as well. So you can get a 45, 65, and 85 amp.
You can put a big boy power source on this.
Oh yeah, you can get a huge plasma cutter on this guy.
Nice. Because it's just, as long as you get a machine torch, you just clamp it right in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then if you also want to, if you happen to have a hand torch, we also have a hand torch mount as well for this machine.
Okay, how does it do with aluminum?
It does great with any type of conductive material, so as long as it's conductive, it will cut it. Some stuff like stainless steel and aluminum, it does cut a little bit slower, but it will cut through it just fine.
Yeah, we've cut, that's more of a plasma cutter, like the actual cutter question, you know. We've got a Sidekick series and it's got a hypertherm cutter on it. Cuts aluminum great, we cut it all the time. Aluminum does get kind of, it has a little fuzzy edge,
Yeah,
a little bit to it.
A little bit more.
But it cuts great and it's easy to clean up. You know, and stainless, of course, has its own unique dross,
Yes.
but you can mess with the settings and really kind of clean
Really
that
dial
up.
it in,
Yeah.
And then one last thing says, somebody just wanted to shout out how awesome the support is on Langmuir's forums.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm one of our tech support agents, and I hope I've helped everybody out that's in the comments there.
That's awesome.
So you're on the forums?
I am on the forums. I'm also available from Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. So
You want to dox yourself and put your username in the...
it should be Langmuir-Zach.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
With an H, not a K.
So if Langmuir-Zach has ever helped you.
I think it's Plasma God 5000. That's probably his other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We're gonna move down the line, check out the Crossfire stuff, but we're gonna keep moving down. Langmuir, by the way, second year that the Langmuir and the Shop Saver guys have been doing PRI, the booth upgrade is pretty serious. Last year they were in the same booth together. This year they each get to play in their own space, but we'll run over here real quick. Actually, we'll show the arc flat down there. So the next one, of course, behind me, I'm not going to bug Jake because he's busy actually trying to make some money. But this, of course, is the MR1 Gantry mill. So if you've been following our channel, Lift Arc Studios, you've seen us at least open and set up our MR1. Spike and I are working to learn how to use it. But it's like a 20 by 20 by 7 cut area, 3-axis milling machine, spindle powered, 220 volt power. You can Langmuir stuff is really cool because you can go full base model or you can go all the way up. So they have something for everybody at different price points. But over here, excuse me, brother. Over here you can get a better look of the machine. So they love to show off that valve cover that they made. But they literally milled a 4-cylinder Triumph valve cover with this machine. You know, they've got it all kitted out. They also support it fully from the back end, so all your clamps and fixturing, your collets, your drill bits, your mill bits, ball end, straight end mills, chamfer bits, threading cutters, so you can thread. That's actually one of the big ones, and I'm really excited to try it with ours. You can thread mill. So instead of having to use a tap, you can actually mill a thread by it going down into the hole and spinning around spirally. You got coolant down here, so there's actually a coolant reservoir down here, and you can flood coolant through the little flexible thing. You've got a touch probe for your automatic Z-axis calibration. You've got an actual probe for finding X and Y. And then, yeah, I mean, look at the rad pieces you can make with an MR1. Aluminum is always the place to start with milling because it's super soft and a lot of fun to make. I wish I had whatever Porsche this goes on.
So you can pretend you have a
Yeah. So yeah, that's the MR1. Jake, the guy here at PRI, that's the actual guy that you will be talking to if you call for tech support. And their tutorials and videos online are amazing.
You have verified this personally.
Yes, I have. I have called, and you know, they had me out here to work the booth with them, but also for the 30 minutes this morning, I was bugging Jake with actual questions on what to do, how to set up, different little tips and tricks.
Yeah, just a line of customers building up behind you.
Yeah, people that actually want to pay for it. I'm just like, what about this? What about this? But you can get this with no enclosure. This is shown all the way up and down, so they got the enclosure, they got extra vices and everything. So it's the real deal. And I think fully optioned, it's like a $10,000 deal. So to get into 3-axis milling for, you know, under 20, under 15 even, it's a pretty sweet kit, pretty cool place to start. But we'll let Jake keep working, and we'll jump over here.
Might be able to bug you.
Yeah. So now we're jumping over to the Titan 25T, a crowd favorite, if you will.
Yes.
So we've just been going right down the line, and of course this is the newest addition to the Langmuir fleet. What's like a few things that sets this thing apart?
Easy peasy, under $6,000 price tag for capabilities that other machines would charge you $35,000 for.
Yeah.
25-ton capabilities, so this thing can bend quarter-inch steel up to 19 inches easy. And easy bend control in-house software. You know, it's free, no licensing, no nothing, and it's easy to use and program.
Yeah.
So.
One thing I think you guys do really well is all your user interface is really cohesive, like across all your machines, the Crossfire, the MR1, and this, like, it's clear you put effort into making that kind of idiot-proof,
Oh yeah.
which idiots like me appreciate.
Why is this protecting me from myself?
Yeah.
But like, you know, you guys have been cranking these out graciously to show people how it works, but if you don't know what a press brake does or is, it folds metal. Like I said in the video earlier this week, it combines a press and a brake. A press pushes down, a brake bends metal. This does both. And it's CNC, so it's computer controlled. So your bends get, I mean, look at that stack of parts that are completely
We've been giving them
identical.
out, but we've been making them faster than we can give them out.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
yeah. Well, with the mic in your face, somebody asked bend width.
Bend width, 33 inches is this table. And
You can bend 1/8 inch full width, right?
full width, easy peasy.
Yeah.
You could even bend like 6 inches of 3/8 if you wanted to go really, really thick.
All depends on the die though,
Yeah.
right? You know, get a bigger radius die for thicker stuff.
Yeah. Before you Avatar fans, this is classified as an air bending press brake because there's when you bend the metal, there's nothing supporting it underneath. So.
Yeah.
For the two of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, listen, they're out there.
Well, sitting on this table, which we'll talk about in a minute, is also all the tooling, right? So,
Yeah.
as I understand it, this is, you know, American style 1/2 inch tang tooling for like literally a half or a third of what it costs anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely. We make sure our prices are really competitive. We're not screwing over our customers after they buy the press brake with tooling. You know,
Yeah.
this is tooling that you could get anywhere else, but we're mass producing it and making it very cheap. You can fully outfit a full set of teeth here for $1,000 using our 4-way die, and a punch of your choice. And this 4-way die is a single die. You'll have capabilities all the way from 18 gauge, 20 gauge, all the way up to 1/4 inch.
So you really only one die you need at the bottom, and then you just change everything else about it.
It's amazing.
One thing I saw you guys indicating earlier today is sort of this kind of deal. Like, these could be two separate parts. They bought this one, and then a month later they bought that.
Yep.
And it's pretty clear that it's all going to work together nicely. Like,
Definitely.
because you could make full width versions of any of these shapes, any of these profiles.
Yeah, definitely. Reliable, precise, and high quality. That's what we're about for an affordable price.
Well, that's the key, man. And like, you're going to be, I think you guys have positioned yourself well to be like people's first versions of these machines. Their first CNC mill, their first CNC press brake, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you got to feel good about that.
Oh yeah.
First impressions are everything.
Yeah, getting small
Yeah.
businesses up and running. You know, this is America. We got a booming manufacturing industry all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
it really feels good to be on the forefront of that surge, seeing people who are finally becoming fabricators. You know.
So people that may go like, well, I like a manual press brake. You can run this thing in a manual mode, right?
Yes, you can.
So you can just kind of bend metal the traditional way, but using your fingers and your foot
Yes,
versus
sir.
a button.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, what's the most popular tooling?
Popular tooling. This extreme gooseneck. It's the most expensive, but it allows you to wrap your parts in and around themselves. This is very popular. The other thing that's very popular is this standard die, this standard punch.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It has acute bend angle capabilities, and it's sturdy and robust.
You know, do you mind doing a few bends right there for the camera?
Based on different reference points. We're keeping this get to line.
Yeah, that's okay.
And this is our bend profile. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I'm the one wrinkling. Yeah.
Material types, they all come pre-programmed. Now, we also don't.
Yeah, I'm shopping. Leave me alone.
Yeah. We can do the live streamer thing. How's audio sounding, everybody?
Yeah, just checking in with you guys. For those of you that are just joining us, we're here in Indianapolis at PRI 2024, getting a good look at like everything Langmuir brought with them to the booth. Which, by the way, they got their own booth this year.
Yeah.
Kind of a big upgrade on the real estate department.
Oh yeah, and seeing this booth for the first time really impressed me.
I bet.
Just the lighting and the style to it. You know, I feel like Langmuir Systems really has the red and black style locked down.
Yeah, I mean, join the dark side.
Side.
The dark side's never been
Join
cool.
the dark side.
Yeah, that's a good voice.
Well, you know, it's you do see your booth and Shop Sabers across the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shop Saber has that beautiful blue and white motif going on. Very, very clean looking. I love it.
Well, and for those that are curious, these two companies do work together. So Shop Saber and Langmuir definitely are sisters, cousins.
Company,
Yeah.
cousins. You know, we don't work directly, but on promotional stuff like this, we're very good friends.
And it makes sense because it's the same corner of industry. You both work together to solve different problems within the same
Yeah,
realm.
it's different problems. We
Yeah.
don't directly compete, especially, you know, they offer more upscale machines than we do for more industrial purposes.
Right.
But, you know, for anybody starting off or for small businesses that need something to fit within their shop, Langmuir Systems, you can't beat them.
Y'all are the gateway drug.
Yep. Oh, definitely.
The gateway drug to CNC work.
I'll say I hear a lot from my customers. A common story is, I bought one of your CNC machines over the year. I made like $55,000 in profits, and then I used my money to buy like a Shop Saber table.
Right.
He's a very. I've heard that story 3 times today.
Well,
It's surprising.
it's a great way to prove the concept, right? Like CAD experience, no CAD experience. What's the learning curve like now in 2024? Like, what's the barrier to entry? What do I have to learn? Okay, well, if I can't figure it out, I'm not out of pocket a bunch of money. But if I can figure it out, there's all sorts of upgrade paths
Oh, yeah.
from there.
Yeah, and you know, even if you don't upgrade, these machines last.
Right.
I have someone who's been running their machine for 4 years now, no problems. And that's a plasma cutting table down there.
Yeah, and they're brutal. Plasma cutting is hot. It's spicy.
It's messy. It can screw with electronics.
Yeah,
But
and it's still working.
it's
So
still
you
working.
employees even have your own machines at home.
Yeah, some.
Yeah, they're not just representatives; they're users.
Yes.
The last thing here I think it's worth talking about is the arc flat table.
Oh, this beauty.
Those that follow, our channel know that I have 3 of these in the shop, and we have them bolted together, but the middle one's sort of poked out a little bit, sort of an offset pattern, which is a lot of fun because we call it our welding kiosk. But it's a 3x4, or this is a 2x3. So we made ours into basically a 6x4 by pushing that middle one out and bolting 3 together. These are wild. It's like $675, right? The table.
Yeah, $675, but with the leg $770. What I love seeing down here is people seeing the price and then coming down to feel the underside, try and fill it out and see, oh no, this really is just a solid piece of metal that has been machined around.
It's solid. It's cast and machined.
Doesn't rust. This thing is fine.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had plenty of opportunities for us to rust, like leaving an exposed bath of muriatic acid in our shop. Every other table I had rusted. This one did not.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet.
We have a couple of these near our MR1 manufacturing station in our factory. We've got water splashing around there from time to time when we clean stuff up. These tables are fresh.
Yeah. Before I got a leg kit for all of mine, I even used one of the slabs just on top of a table of mine that didn't have holes in it. So you could just put it on your workbench if you just need some fixtures. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. If you just need a fixture surface, you got it, but then if you want to use legs, get the legs. They sell it. And they have adjustable feet. I know the floor in my shop is not flat, so the adjustable feet come in clutch.
Very handy.
Yeah.
Well, and you opt to use this over the one that we made.
I go to this as many times as I can.
Yeah.
If the project is small enough, I go straight here. I made my own fixture table on my shop saver out of 1/4-inch steel. It's 5x10, which is awesome. But you know, it's made from mild steel, so it's not perfectly flat. You know,
Yeah.
one end of it kind of falls off a 16th, so these are milled.
4 thousandths worth of precision on the
Yeah.
sevens.
I don't know about you guys, but that's good enough for what I'm building in a big way. So that was, I think, a pretty good overview. If you are here at PRI, I'm not going to show you this, but you should come by. There's some pretty cool discounts for the Langmuir stuff in the booth, in person, because there's some QR codes that I'm not going to show you that you can scan.
Unless that is one of them on the table over there, and we've shown it a million times.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you know,
It might
whatever
be.
happens, happens.
Yeah, but like, you know, arc flat, get 5 clamps for free, PRI special.
Yeah.
MR1 milling machine, $500 off during PRI if you have this secret code that I'm holding. Crossfire XR, 500 off, Pro, 300 off, Crossfire base, 2x2, 150 off, only at PRI.
It's great.
So it's here today, it's Friday at 2:30 if you're watching this live. You guys will be here all day tomorrow as well until 4 o'clock, right? I think that's when the show ends, and Sunday is the pack-up day. So you really have today, Friday, and tomorrow, Saturday. Even if you can't make it, call someone you know that came and come by and have them put your pre-order in, you know.
Venmo them $770.
Yeah, dude, Venmo, and then they can put it in their carry-on and fly back with it. It's very easy.
There's been a few people that came up to me today and yesterday who said, "Oh, I'm coming here for a friend. He couldn't make the PRI, but he told me come to this booth.
Yeah,
Come to this booth, get situated."
yeah.
And yeah, we've been sorting them out, helping them to get what they need. It's been very cool.
Heck yeah, man. Well, it's
Just some behind the scenes. You guys announced like last year.
yeah.
last
So
year.
that was really cool. So last year I was here, and I saw you guys unveil this, and it was only pre-order. You weren't shipping at the time of the show last year, and we went live about that machine. And I think by the end of the weekend, there were like 500 pre-orders or something that were put in.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And since then, it's only boomed and gotten more popular.
Yeah. So it's making a big splash, and that kind of stuff makes me excited too, because like I've been a fabricator for almost 20 years, and so I'm pretty accustomed to like what things have traditionally cost, how expensive certain problems are to solve. So when you see stuff like this come through at the price point, you're like, it's hard not to add that to the shop,
Right?
you know?
Are you guys keeping up with all the orders? I'm sure there's.
Yeah, we're shipping out 10 a day from our factory.
10 a day.
Yeah.
That's really, and from Conroe, Texas, right?
Conroe, Texas, made in America, baby.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Hard to beat. 25 tons, 33 inches wide, 1/8 inch material, full width, custom tooling. Kind of sweet. We actually are putting ours together right now.
Nice.
I was assembling it, trying to finish before we flew out here. I couldn't finish yet, but I can't wait to get back and start running our own parts.
Yeah, it's been very fun.
And we'll show you guys that. So be sure to follow and subscribe to Lift Arc Studios and Yuga and Langmuir Systems on YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll show you what the parts we make with the MR1 and the Titan.
Speaking of the MR1, looks like it.
We want to go back and talk to Jake for a second? Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sam.
Jake,
We didn't forget about you. Last but not least, right?
well, you were at a very important
Yes.
job when we walked past, but we've been giving the people a tour of everything Langmuir's got. This is the one of 2 machines that we actually have in our shop. I'm just beginning my journey into 3-axis milling, which I imagine is where many people start, because you make it so easy to get into it.
Right.
This sort of machine, you know, touch screen, you have the fully optioned version in front of you here.
Yeah.
What sort of things can people get into at this? Like this is a full-fledged CNC milling experience, right?
So you got steel, stainless steel, aluminum, and of course anything softer than that you can do as well. Like
Right.
we got guys that cut carbon fiber in this as well. So
That's a
it'll
big
handle
one.
just about anything. I hate to say something cheesy like your imagination is the limit, but right, this is 3D milling here. So you can do
Yeah.
anything from automotive pieces, artwork pieces, We got guys that make miniature games in these as well. So yeah.
Our
Like
designer
little
at the
pieces of-
shop
Yep.
literally is designing board games, and he's chomping it. I told him, I was like, if you help me learn this thing, like, watch all of Jake's Spike. If you're watching, you better be watching some of Jake's videos. He did all that work to teach you how to use the machine, man. Watch it.
Yeah.
But like,
Jake did all the work for you.
yeah. But so machining, right, is like, it's reductive manufacturing.
Right.
You're taking a chunk of metal and removing certain parts of it in very precise and specific ways to reveal a part. It's like sculpture, right? It's like carving out what you
Start
want.
with like a block of marble, yeah.
Yeah.
Except start with a block of steel.
A billet, yeah.
Yep, billet.
And that's
Yeah.
one thing that like I gotta change now is like I gotta source billets, which I just learned you guys also sell billets online, right?
Yeah, we're just getting started. We're kind of getting feedback from people. Well, right now what we have is we have a 6x4x2, so a pretty good chunk of aluminum there for $20, and that's like unheard of. around
That's
here.
pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
And so we're trying to get people's feedback, like, hey, do you guys want the same size in steel, or do you want bigger in aluminum? Like, whatever you guys want, we want to listen to our customers
Right.
and start, offering that to them.
Well, because
Yeah, helping them out.
if they're like me and they've been a welder or a fabricator, they're buying sheet steel and dimensional steel,
Yeah.
but never like chunks of steel.
Yeah.
So it's cool to know that like, all right, I don't really know what my source is for that yet. I'll just get it from you guys
Yeah.
at the
It's-
same time I'm buying the machine.
Yeah, it can be hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little nerve-wracking and expensive because it's like
Yes.
a giant, this test part here, which I love, has been your chariot,
Oh, yeah.
the engine valve cover. Didn't you say that was a 30-pound chunk of aluminum when you started?
Yeah. It's great big, 23-inch long, 23-inch wide,
Yeah.
4-inch tall chunk of aluminum. Yeah.
And the whole inside is milled out too. And I
Yep.
think you even milled, it worked, right? Like you even milled the groove for the seal, the O-ring and everything? Yeah.
They mounted it and everything, ran
Yeah.
it. Got to drive around on it for like the first time in years because they've been restoring it ever
Right.
since. Yeah,
That's rad.
absolutely.
Well-
We got some questions about cut control here.
The cut
Yes.
control. Oh yeah, you want to,
Like the learning curve, things like that.
Gotcha. Yep. So what cut control does is there's no actual programming done on cut control. It's free software from us, always be free. What it does is it handles the programs that you load into it, so you can make adjustments while on the fly. You can do all your manual machining on cut control, but you can use your own CAD software that you're already familiar with. So
Yeah.
something like Fusion 360, SolidWorks, Mastercam. You can keep doing all that, make your program there, and then once you have the program, you load it onto our machine and run it. So pretty standard for
we did
CNC.
it with Fusion. We already had Fusion. I imagine most people that do any sort of CNC cutting or machining probably at least know what Fusion is.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like one of the most affordable CAD softwares. It's like
It is. Still very capable as well.
$5 or so $100 a year. So
Yep.
that's pretty good. Even 2D CAD is more expensive than that. So they do make it really accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can even like, I don't know. Anyway, you guys are open source though, right? Like so, or you can bring any software, make the part on any software, and then bring
Exactly.
it to cut control.
Yep, exactly.
As long as your tool pathing and your programs and all that are made.
We got to start on conversational programming. So traditional programming is on your Fusion 360, where you start with your part, or you start on a notepad on a blank piece, and you start typing in anything out.
Right.
The next thing in between that is conversational programming. So what you can do is we're getting to start on conversational. We have an automatic facing here. So if you got a part that you want to face off, what you can do is you can tell the machine,
Oh, cool.
like, hey, here's how big my part is, here's how much I want to take off, and here's my feeds and my speeds. And so I don't want to go to my computer, I just want to do it right here. So what you can do is you can generate program. And right under this valve cover program that we have here, it just made me a new automatic facing.
Oh, that's rad.
Yep, so what I can do is I can turn off the visualizer for that, and there's our little program that we just made, just now.
And so you guys are going to work to add more of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So automatic facing is kind of the easiest, was kind of our first test foray into
Right.
it. So besides that, we can start milling pockets. We can start doing contours around the outside of things.
Right.
So that way guys that are running their machine, they don't have to go back to their computer every time they want to make something.
Do a chamfer pass or that kind of thing.
Yep.
Maybe a drill a hole and thread it kind of program.
Yep, drilling program.
Maybe.
Yep, all that good stuff.
That's very cool.
And you can load multiple programs here at the same time as well. So I can turn that back on.
Yeah.
What it lets you do is it lets you, for every tool change that you have, you can line up your programs to just go one right after another.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you
Get
quick-
the order right.
Yep, throw no tool in, hit start. You can move your order around if you wanted to do one before the other. We also have a start from line. So let's say you're running a 3-hour long program and you break a bit, right?
Right.
Normally you'd have to start all the way over from the beginning and just wait another 2 hours or so.
Wait till it
gets-
catches up to that point.
Yep. So let me go back to that valve cover here. What I can do is I can actually pick a line where I want to start from.
Oh,
You
wow.
See that little green line there?
Yeah.
So then you can do run from line.
Interesting.
Generate. So now, when we hit start, it'll start going through the process saying, okay, just be sure you have everything clear. Like we're gonna move to this position, so make sure your spindle's out of the way. Now it says, okay, we're gonna turn on the spindle, make sure the spindle's clear. Yep, and then we're gonna go down.
Yeah.
In this case,
It wants to make sure that
make
you're
sure
not
you know
about
what
to
you're
screw it.
doing.
Yep.
And of course, for the demo, you've made your Z-axis offset higher, so you're not actually cutting anything.
Oh
but-
yeah, I'm not that confident.
Yeah.
I don't have the cojones for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. Isn't that nice?
Cool.
And then you just saved yourself 2 hours worth of pain.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, and so there's a probe and a tool setter.
Yep.
So when it comes to doing, like, say you're doing a face, and then you want to go mill your pockets with a smaller end mill, as long as you've calibrated your Z-axis offset to begin with, pull a tool out, put the new tool in, do your auto calibration, and then it automatically changes your Z-axis offset, right? So change your tool and go instead of having to recalibrate, redraw anything.
Exactly. It definitely helps speed things up.
It's kind of a must, really. I don't honestly see how you do this without that.
Yeah.
And you just got to get a piece of paper out otherwise, and
Oh, the old school way.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
which is roughly 3 thou, but you never know what kind of paper you're going to reach for. The Langmuir brochures are a little more than 3 thou, I think.
I had a guy argue with me vehemently online.
Yeah.
He said, no, paper is 4,000, it's not 3.
It's like, okay.
Sorry, sir. I guess my heights are going to be off by
Yeah.
1,000.
Paper is not a feeler gauge, okay? It's not universally calibrated.
Measure it first. Get your micrometer out.
Yeah,
Make it down to the half thou. if
yeah,
you really
measure your
insist.
paper. Let's see how thick your paper is.
If you need it to be that accurate, certainly don't use paper.
Yeah, right, use something else.
Exactly.
But anyway, if you've run a Bridgeport, if you've run a lathe, you're familiar with machining at all, I, for one, am very excited to start digging into CNC machining, and I imagine this will be many other people's first go. So definitely look into the MR1. Like I said, if you're here at PRI, there are actual PRI show discounts. I think it's what, 500 off here at the show. But of course, you can option it up and down however you want to meet your budget.
Build it yourself, as little
Yeah.
as you want, as much as you want.
Yeah, if you don't, I mean, the one we got, I went for your fully assembled one, which is rad. And they fully assemble it. And actually, here's what I thought was cool, is that you didn't just build it all, you did all of the like calibration too. You did the nod adjustment, all the run out, the axes parallel check and everything. Like, it really was like ready to go out of the box, as much as a milling machine can be.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
so all we had to do was like screw the computer together and
Yeah.
stuff.
The,
You know.
the computer hanging off that far doesn't like to fit in a nice, neat little box. So
No.
you will have to probably put the computer on.
I like what you did here with your coolant. It's a little mod.
Yep. That's what we try to do. We try to listen to. That's actually suggested by customers,
Nice.
and so we kind of take their feedback. We kind of hear what they want to add to the machine, and we
Do
do
you
as
hit-
much as we can.
You hit the coolant button and it can shoot out of there? Is that
Yep.
how it works?
Yep.
Cool.
So you can turn off the coolant on the nozzle. You can turn that on, and then you can spray from one location.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use, or if you don't have compressed air, you can use that to
Yep.
wash your
Yeah.
part.
Sometimes once you start getting towards linear rails, like on all CNC machines, it's kind of a no-no. You don't want to spray compressed air because then it might spray chips up
That's
under those
right.
rails.
Yeah.
So it's much better to wash it down with coolant.
Because compressed air will put chips into places they never would have gone in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to mention, if you're not a safety glasses enthusiast, it might shoot it right into your face. So,
Yep.
for all you safety glass enthusiasts out there.
AKA the visually impaired.
Yeah, yeah. I always have my safety glasses on, but it's not that great. Well, dude, thank you for walking us through it.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah, can't wait to see what y'all make with your MR1s. We're very excited to use ours as well. We're gonna keep going down the line.
Good deal.
See you at dinner tonight.
Later.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
The Holy Land.
The Holy Land, indeed. So, now, do we have anyone, any questions? Anybody?
Anybody want to have any final?
How many people are watching?
There's bouncing back and forth between 80 and 100.
Nice. Hope everyone's doing well. For those of you that are just joining us, we're here at PRI 2024, the Performance Racing Industries Trade Show here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I, for one, am a big-time car guy, so this is a pretty awesome convention to be at. You know, I've got a drift car. I've done some automotive fabrication. I've done a little bit of light engine building. And of course, we run Lift Arc Studios in Roanoke, Virginia, and we fabricate everything from architectural wares, custom furniture, and thanks to our Shop Saver, custom metal signage. So we do all sorts of stuff. Speaking of Shop Saver, we spent the last, I don't know how long, going over all the Langmuir stuff. Let's start digging into Shop Saver's offering. So Shop Saver and Langmuir Systems are sister companies. Shop Saver kind of takes CNC stuff to a whole new level. We'll just go around and we're going to end on something that literally got announced a week before the show. So it's a brand new offering from Shop Saver here today. But we'll start with a machine that Walker and I went to go see live in the factory a few months ago. This was also a recent announcement by Shop Saver. This is their TC series, the tube cutter. So this is a CNC plasma tube cutter that if you know why this machine exists, you know how good they are. If you don't know, this machine allows you to do things like this. If you're working in tube and you're doing any sort of tube joinery or tube cutting, this sort of thing is going to really change how you do it. As someone who has built roll cages, I have both built them from scratch and I have built roll cages from kits where the companies use a machine like this to pre-cut and pre-notch the tubes. And when you're putting tubes together that have been like CNC cut and notched, it's kind of a game changer. So how did you do it before? You grabbed a piece of tubing, you put it in your bandsaw, or you used a cutoff wheel, you cut it to length, and then you use, like I've got a crude like hole saw tube notcher. Maybe if you've done it, you've used a Bridgeport with like an end mill on it to like notch the tube. And when I say notch, I mean cut into the tube so it fits around another tube. This machine replaces all of that. It can replace a bandsaw, it can replace a tube notcher. It sort of does all in one. So you use a software, I believe it's Hypertherm's. Hypertherm has a tube cutting software. You can program all your cuts. You can get the 12-foot machine or the 24-foot machine. So you can literally take a 24-foot piece of tube steel off the truck that delivers it to you and stick it in this machine and then run all your cuts. Excuse me.
Sorry for your ears.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. But there are some things about Shop Saver's tube cutter that kind of sets it apart. So let me show you that. Yeah. So, and again, this is a fully optioned price. This is a PRI special. So reach out to Shop Saver and get a quote for one. So here's how it works. You have a chuck down here that actually holds the tube. It will rotate it. It will push it forward and backward. They use all the same motor technology that they use on all their other machines. You have your hardened ways here. And it's just a 4-jaw automatic chuck with the, if you run a lathe, it's the same kind of deal. I'm very sorry.
Need a drink of water?
I do, I would love one, but it's okay. We're gonna push through. So you can do round and square tube. So it comes with the round jaws with these roller bearings, right? So you have the lever on that side, you undo these clamps, you pull this lever around, and it will adjust these roller bearings to clamp onto your round tube. So that's the base equipment that it comes with. They also offer a square tube chuck that can take up to a 7-inch diagonal. So whatever tubing can fit into that, you see here, I think this is some like 3.5 or 4-inch aluminum tube. So there's an example of the kind of joinery you can do with a tube cutter. And not to mention artwork. This is the kind of thing that gets me excited as a metal shop that does a lot of like sculpture work and artwork and custom lighting. This sort of capability is very, very cool to me. So I'm already thinking of like, you know, uses in custom furniture, like I said, custom lighting, that sort of thing. Not to mention roll cages. So this sort of thing is like, you may not have known it exists, but once you learn about it, you're like, oh, that could save me a lot of time. And Shop Saver builds the heck out of their machines, man. It's built like a tank. It's sort of unique to them. You know, they've got this on-machine mounted, the controller and the computer are in here together, and you can kind of just run it. Once you generate your cut files, you run everything from here, and it's a self-contained unit. Shop Saver, by the way, is located in Lakeville, Minnesota. All their machines are made 100% in their Lakeville, Minnesota factory, completely vertically integrated. They paint them, you know, they design them, they fabricate them. They even use their own Shop Saver machines to fabricate parts that build other Shop Saver machines, you know, like they're users of their own machines in a super nice, high quality industrial setting. So that should tell you a little something. But again, this is, if you know what this is, you know what it can do, you're the right person for it. Definitely look into Shop Saver's tube cutter. Over here, though, is something you might be a little more familiar with.
So if anybody is watching us from PRI,
yes, booth 5621, definitely stop by if you're here. I'll be here all day today, all day tomorrow. Walker's here. Walker's the editor of all the videos you may have watched on our channel. Hi, Walker. So dancing behind me is a machine that is the small version of the one that we've got in our fab shop. So Shop Saver, little story. Shop Saver started in CNC routers. They've been in business for, I think, almost 25 years. I've met the guy that started. His name's Jim, and Jim's son, Brandon, still works for the company. It's a family-owned business, and they started in CNC routers. Pretty soon after that, they went into CNC plasma tables, and that's what this is here. So plasma cutters cut metal using electrical arc. Shop Saver puts Hypertherm plasma cutters on all their machines. Hypertherm's been doing it for a long time, so why reinvent the wheel? A CNC plasma cutter is just a computer-controlled plasma cutter. So instead of using a hand torch to cut by hand, you use CNC to do it even more precisely. This one here is the Sidekick series. This is the 4x4 Sidekick, or the Sidekick 4. In our shop, we run the Sidekick 10, which is just the 5x10 version. They make up to a 6x12. So when you hear those numbers, that's the size sheet that you can throw on this table to start cutting parts. This one is fully optioned the way you see it. So you've got things like the collision detection head. If I hit this, it stops. And then to restart it, it's really easy. You come over here, hit Control R, enter. It'll go back to find the right spot. Oops. I went too fast. Oh, it didn't set back down. That's my bad. I know the engineer. We can figure it out. You restart. Goes to the line. Press enter. And she's moving again.
Tay says sorry.
Sorry. So it's cruising now.
Although it probably, this thing has been going
Oh yeah, this
max speed for days.
Yeah, so Ben Rugg, one of the lead engineers, he wrote a custom program for this thing to just make it sit here and dance real fast for the crowd. It does really kind of showcase the speed of the motors. And because it's a custom program, I can't restart it the way he normally does it, but I'll just open the show move all day file. And now it's going. But, all right, look, plasma cutting, right? It's not a laser. You're right, it's not a laser, but it's come real far. So this is 1/8 inch mild steel, and here's a part that was cut on this machine using a hypertherm plasma cutter. And like, the tolerances are really good. For most fabrication applications, a plasma cutter is gonna do just fine. It's great for us. We do custom signage, brackets, tabs, gussets, hinges, mounting plates, all sorts of stuff on our plasma. We've got ours options. The one at our shop is again a 5x10. We've got the Hypertherm 105 on there, so we got all the horsepower in the world to cut, 3/4 inch, 1 inch steel all day long. But again, collision detection. This one also has a bevel, which is a bevel adapter, which is brand new. So you can actually turn the torch at a 15, 30, 45 degree angle and cut your bevels straight on the table, which is really cool. It's got, let's see, linear bearings and inverted drive gears. So rack and pinion drive, the rack is upside down over here to keep debris from falling into it. It's very well greased, as I just found out. And I'll wipe it on my khakis. I'm working. They've had several iterations of these machines. This is the fastest, most powerful one that they make. From here, they do go up to the Shop Master series. So they have the Sidekick series, which is the more budget oriented, but it's still meant to work all day, every day. And then they have the Shop Master series, which is like bigger, heavier, faster, only goes up from here. But yeah, we can look over here. So if you're unfamiliar with what you can do with CNC plasma, this is some stuff more on the artistic side, right? So you can pretty much take any photo, any drawing, any idea, and cut it out of metal, which is the whole point. Very cool. And yeah, it's not laser, but you can actually get really precise with some plasma cuts. We have done that too on our channel on LiftArc. We've done some very intricate work with our Chop Saber plasma. Our designer Spike is pushing that thing to the limit all the time, which is really fun.
Hey, Spike, if you're watching, leave a comment.
Spike, if you're watching, leave a comment. But if you're not watching, I appreciate it. It means you're working. This is ironic because everything is made in the USA. They powder coated this one. So there's an example of a powder coated metal sign, something we make all the time at our shop with our Shop Saber plasma table. Shout out to Lucas at Powder Coating Creations. He's our go-to powder coater, but very, very cool. As if you're a hobbyist or a professional, it's a really cool solution to have.
Okay, drum roll buildup.
That's right.
Can we annoy Ben for a little bit?
Oh, I'm sure. We'll find him. So, brand new, brand spanking new to the market as of a week ago is this guy, the Fiber Saber. So, again, having been a fabricator for almost 20 years, you hear about laser cutters. It's the best of the best in metal CNC cutting, but it's always so expensive. CNC laser cutters are, in my brain, and I feel like yours too, you're used to just seeing like $150,000, $250,000 for a CNC laser cutter. That's Chad. What Shop Saber's done is gonna cause a ripple through the market. This thing, let me give you some high level sights. This is a 2 kilowatt, 4x8 CNC laser cutter, Max Photonics power unit, 3,000, 3,800 inch permit motors, fully integrated control and 2D CAD software built in, side loading parts tray, all made in America for under $60,000. So they hit with a 4x8. They also make a 5x10 for under $70,000. Again, everything on this machine is made in their factory in Lakeville, Minnesota. But let's show you around. So right here on the front of the Fiber Saber, you've got a camera. So one thing about laser is that you need to be shielded from it because it will barbecue your eyes. So this is laser glass, it protects the laser light wave. The harmful rays don't make it out of here. This door does move. So if you do need to get into the machine, You can open this, it's held closed with magnets. You can look and see how freaking fast that thing moves around. The thing about laser is that it works a lot faster than most other CNC cutter. More than plasma, faster than water jet. Laser is the speed demon. You know, especially when you're working, so 2 kilowatt laser will technically cut up to 5/8 severance, but it'll cut 3/8 on a production scale at a really high quality. And this is the man that made it, well, these guys both. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brandon Bombardo and Mr. Ben Rugg from Shop Saver. 2 high school sweethearts that work at a CNC company. No.
Wait,
No,
what?
no.
What just happened?
Well, he's the one that should shotgun wedding.
We got married apparently.
So I have spent the last 2 hours starting back there, and we're ending here because I figured we saved the best for last, the Fiber Saver. So from prototype to actual thing, you guys saw it all the way through, and you're creating a bit of a disruption, I believe, in the CNC laser world.
First off, I don't want to take credit for stuff I don't deserve.
Right, that's
These
why I
guys
started
saw
with
it.
Ben.
Yeah, these guys started it.
I just
couldn't
introduced
stand
you because you were here.
Yeah.
No.
No, let's give credit where it's deserved.
Yeah.
These are the guys behind it, the guys at the shop.
Yeah.
They home run. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, and you're right, it's a disruptor because you're bringing a technology that was unobtainable by many
Yeah.
to the fingertips of everybody.
Yeah.
Because really,
I thought
it's
that a week and a half ago, still.
single phase, 220.
Very big
which
point.
is just, nobody has that. And
Right.
then you're bringing it in at a price point that's cheaper than a lot of plasma machines.
Yeah, or at least in the same conversation, which is wild.
Yeah.
So I hit them with most of the high level stuff, but like the Shop Saver's version of a CNC laser, like what was it like to make? Like what are give me some of the high points.
It's the beauty of all the machines that we create. We're taking the technology that's been there forever. How do we make it usable? How do we make it accessible? How do I get a guy that says, all right, I need to cut a 1/4 inch plate today. All right, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to set it up on the screen. I'm going to get the numbers for you. All you're going to have to do is bring in the part that you want, and then we're going to set it down. The machine will come over, find it, cut it out, and let's be done with it.
So we've got like most people are familiar with like a laser engraving machine, right? Like you get it from all these other companies that make smaller tools. There's those things, there's CO2 lasers. This is a fiber laser. So as I understand, fiber means fiber optic. There's no thread or string in there. It's fiber optic. That means that the whole machine can be smaller, right? Like you don't have all these reflectors and tubes and stuff running around. It's fiber optic laser.
Less parts to go wrong.
Yeah.
Way easier to line up. You don't have to worry about mirrors out of alignment and your laser's now bouncing somewhere different, hitting your lens wrong,
Right.
ending up with a cut that's coming out crooked or something like that because you're not going through all the optics. You drive your fiber optic right to your head. It locks in perfectly centered. On top of you're able to, like I said, I can put my power source in the back. I don't have to worry about putting a power source perfectly in the same spot or something tweaked in shipping and now nothing's lined up. I can reliably ship this to you, know that it's going to turn on and everything's going to work. I don't have to ship it to you now, ship a tech out there that's going to spend the next 4 hours lining up all the mirrors and go, everything's good. Make sure nobody bumps into this machine. Oh crap, a forklift touched it. Now we're done, let's start lining up.
Yeah, I've never bumped into my Shop Saver with a forklift ever. So I feel like if anyone's been in the fabrication space for a while, they've been inundated with offshore offerings of laser machines, both laser welders and laser cutters.
Yep.
One thing that has been brought to my attention a lot is there's a risk with a poorly made laser. Like a laser can barbecue your eye. You can go blind if you use a laser the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it's something that should make people nervous about machines that are made in who knows where.
Yep.
What I think is exciting about you guys making a laser is like now a CNC laser comes with y'all's awesome like customer support. You know, the team that actually made it is reachable by phone. I feel like it's a big deal for lowering the anxiety around laser machines. So, I mean,
yeah,
like,
the thing that you find with this is that, for one, we operate in the same time zone as most.
Right.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that I point out is because otherwise you're talking 24-hour communication. You're waiting on you send an email and you're waiting, right?
Right.
Or you're trying to use the WhatsApp app.
Yeah,
or,
people are always like, "Oh, message me on WhatsApp." I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's where I want to buy my laser
Correct,
machine.
and that's my thing is like, you call us. Like,
Yeah.
you know who we are. We have over $4 million in parts inventory. Like, you're not waiting on something to come the long way, right?
Right.
We can get it to you quickly. UPS shipping every day before 3 p.m.
Right.
You know, as you said, the support staff that we have, the team that has built the reputation we've had for the years
Yeah.
of being who we are.
25 years in business.
25 plus years of business, yeah. And it's still the same team that you're used to dealing with and the reputation is out there for is the team now that is going to be backing this. And so it's people that you're familiar with. It's a team that actually believes in what they're doing. They're not just reading from a manual because they're a distributor, right? I mean, that's the concern with any distributor is that they love to take care of you to the level of knowledge that they possess.
Right.
With us, we built the machine.
Yeah.
So we possess all of the knowledge. Like, there's nothing that we don't have the information on, and therefore somebody in the building at all times is able to answer the question and help you out.
Yeah.
You're not waiting on multiple calls back because we have to call different sources. And like,
Yeah.
it
I
just,
don't know. We didn't make that part.
correct.
Yeah,
Like, we
right.
try to just make it much more simplified. And granted, like anybody, we don't make 100% of parts on anything, right? You have to buy it, but we only buy from trusted sources. You're
Right.
not buying this privately labeled, God knows what it is, right? We're doing it in a way that is much more thoughtful.
Right.
And then the way we do it too is it's a tested theory, right?
Yeah.
We're not just shotgunning something at it and hoping it works.
No, you proved the concept with the routers and then the CNC
Right.
plasmas and now this. Like,
And that's what we
you've
try
got
to
a
point out.
system and a formula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I try to point out is that the bearing systems. It's the same bearing systems that have been proven in all of our machines.
That we've been beaten to death
Yeah.
for 5 years and are still going.
Right,
you know,
the
like-
motor system. It's the Mitsubishi motors that everybody has come to love, right?
Right.
Like, we have this a proven method to it, and now we've just added the laser source
Right.
and the optics. And honestly, when you look at that, the laser source itself is the same brand that you're finding commonly found across the industry. It's not some knockoff brand.
Right.
So again, by putting it all together now encompassed into one, it's not a trial and error, but an actual proven formula for success.
Right. Well said, Brandon.
Hey, I get lucky once.
Yeah.
Have you had some conversations like this?
I've had it.
Well, let's we sort of started over here, showed people this way. Ben, you want to give them like a quick little, what can you do on this screen?
What can't you do is a better question.
Can it order my lunch?
If you connect to the internet, yes.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. I will take one.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. We got to connect to the internet first, so you're going
Yeah.
that way. But yeah, so you can nest your parts, you can set up the entire sheet, you can bring your files in. So like right now we had, here if I want to go ahead and say I want to nest 50, oh, not 350,
It'll do 350.
50. Oh boy. So then I come over here, go by nesting. Right now I'm set up on a 48 by 24 sheet.
Wow, so auto parts nesting
Yep.
right on the machine.
Correct.
That's a big deal.
That is, quite. And then so I can set up my lead in, lead outs. You can bring in multiple parts. Go back here, new. Go over, bring in any standard DXF. So let's go. That one might be a little bit too big. It said bigger, but I did not realize how
Oh,
big.
that's
or
the
bigger
hot
it was.
rod thing over
Yeah.
here. So,
So.
to zoom back all the way out,
Literally ends.
well, right. So, why? What is it? You're cutting parts out of metal, cutting two-dimensional parts out of any
of a
sort of
sheet.
metal.
Yep.
Brass, stainless, mild steel, copper, aluminum. To do whatever you want. If you're making art, if you're making brackets, if you're trying to save time cutting out tabs or whatever. Like we use ours all the time for architectural stuff, railings. You need tabs and whatnot.
Yep.
So whatever you're making, that's what this does. This replaces, angle grinders, but it does so much more.
Right.
So like this car thing that you guys have on display here.
How about this guy?
Yeah. This is wild. Yeah, I mean, you kind of get it now, right? Like digital 2D file that you've drawn or that you found or that you bought or you had made for you. You bring it into here, load your material, which we'll show you how to do that in a minute, and then you just make it real. This is, it looks like 16 gauge or 14 gauge mild steel, the back of a hot rod. Here's something to point out that I think is pretty valuable. This is the kerf width of the laser, which is 7/1000 of an inch. So one single pass, you can almost not see through it unless you get the lighting right. So people go, why laser versus plasma? What's the difference? That's a huge, huge difference. Precision and lack of post processing, in my mind, is two of the biggest differences.
You look at the back side of this thing, and there's almost no drawstone, nothing worth talking about on the back side of this.
Yeah, so you're not grinding your part a bunch afterwards. You're not have to sending it through a sander. You know, it's a one op instead of two now.
Another big thing you're looking at is, you're talking about thicker metal, you're looking at the heat effect zone. So your heat effect zone is a lot smaller.
Definitely.
You're dealing with a much truer edge, much cleaner part.
And so it's worth talking about. You guys, this is just a 2 kilowatt laser. They're working on bigger ones, but the 2 kilowatt is big enough to do 5/8 steel severance.
Yep.
That piece right there is 1/2 inch, I think, that you were holding, right?
No, that was a 3/8. 3/8 steel.
3/8, yeah.
Yep.
So it'll do 3/8 all day long,
And then
production
you got
wise.
cutting and marking all in one.
Yeah, so this piece was probably engraved first and then cut out.
Exactly, correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And then 1/4 inch all done with air.
So that's unique to laser too. You cannot engrave with a plasma cutter.
Not to this level by
No,
any means.
you can do like a gouging operation if you wanted to, but it's rough, man. It's brutal.
Yep.
So let's continue the tour. So that's the screen, that's the interface. You got this, we showed you guys the big deal, but there's the business end in there. It's fully enclosed because it has to be, because it's a laser.
For safety.
Yep. Yeah. You want to run a sample file, see it moving around?
Oh yeah.
We gotta make the big car go away though. A little too big.
No more big car for Ben.
Make car go by.
Big car go bye bye.
Small car.
So start just around the shell, then run in one big loop. So she's moving again.
Cool. So we'll go around this side.
I got a call. Talk to him.
So behind us on this side is sort of the business side.
Got the panels off just to show everybody what's going on.
Yeah. But normally you would never see this thing running except on the screen, on the camera screen.
Truly, I am. Like, I can't wait for the phone call you're gonna make. Like, you guys, like,
But
I would've noticed this.
you're looking at the 4x8 version. You guys are also making 5x10 versions.
Yes.
It is currently December. They will be shipping in April. And if you've used the plasma like we have, the fundamentals are the same, except that when you load your material, you pull out this really slick material tray.
Yeah, I appreciate you. No, you're good. I appreciate you.
Can you hold that?
How are you?
So,
I get the mic. He's in trouble now.
Yeah. So it looks like
Thank you.
this is pretty slick to me. So all the way out.
Grabbing your big parts off with you, and then your little parts dropping into the
Here's a question that I've always had about lasers.
Yeah.
Laser machines tend to have these pointed rests where the
Correct.
plasma just has straight slats. What's the difference?
So the laser, being as you're going to end up with a gap there, can actually bounce back or it could weld to it.
Yeah.
So you want to have a smallest contact area possible.
So you want as much of the part being unsupported, basically, as
Exactly
possible.
correct. Unsupported, uncontacted.
And so if these ever get chowdered up, you can always make your own again, right?
Exactly, and that I would. That's literally where these came from.
I imagine
They're
you
all
guys
laser
made
cut.
those,
Yep.
yeah. But I like to load my plasma with a forklift. You can still do that, right?
Correct.
Pull
Yep.
this out.
This comes out the full 4x8 way, so you can load it with a forklift. You can load it with a crane. You had some young kids with good backs. You can be the first to
Throw
wreck
it
them.
up there, yeah. With laser, it's probably thinner material anyway, so you
Yep.
may just hand load the machine.
Exactly.
I probably would for a while anyway, till I get a fancy vacuum system.
There you go.
But anyway, so then you load it, you shove it back in.
This is right off the machine.
Nice bearings. Slam it together and go.
Locked down and ready to roll.
So this price does not exist for that long. So this is the pre-order price. So from now until, I guess, April-ish. Is that? you'll be able to get the 4x8 for under 60,000 and the 5x10 for under 70,000. Once
That is not just a PRI special, that is pre-order.
Pre-order.
That is the pre-order price. So after they start shipping, the price will increase.
Yes.
So if this is something that you're looking for, I know I am, you need to go to shopsaver.com, request a quote. You will literally be talking to one of these guys here.
Yep.
They will call you, they will email you, and get the ball rolling.
Get this thing on order before you can't.
You're honestly going to want to move kind of quick because
You're going to want to be high
once the
on
word gets fully out, yeah, there's going to be a line. These guys are
Probably it already
superheroes.
is, but they're not going to divulge that.
Right.
100%, yes. I have seen the reception here at PRI has been kind of awesome.
Yes, very much so. There's been tons of people stopping. Literally, this thing goes moving around. Guys will literally stop. You'll have to wipe the drool off the ground.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they're going to charge you extra for a cleaning
Right.
fee.
Exactly.
So I have a fun little anecdote. I'm not going to name who it was, but there was a competitor who walked over and said, "Holy moly, you guys are going to disrupt the industry."
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Well, a lot of people are like, the price is honestly so low that people are like, where's the catch?
There is no catch.
I don't-
This is, in our mind, this was something that needed to happen.
Spill it, Ben. How did
Yeah. You're lying.
Right.
You're lying.
Exactly. No, this is something that needed to happen. The price has been hundreds of thousands for years and years and years, and we've evaluated where we can be with it and find a good spot. And we're happy to release it at this and shake up the market a little bit.
Well, I think it's in your best interest. And very excited for you guys. Thank you for having me out. I don't know if you've done some laps. I've done a few other laps around PRI. Really cool to see the tech that's out here. I like that people, it's sort of, with the internet, there's not a whole lot of like surprises anymore. These trade shows are kind of fun because I know you guys have done this with this machine. People still sometimes save surprises and like announcements for trade shows, and being here in person has been really, really exciting. Thank you guys for having me out. And the best of luck to you. This machine is sold, this one. So put your order in for yours. Laser cutting capabilities at plasma table pricing. So
And does this one go electricity requirements?
yeah,
All
two
single phase.
220 volt single phase. If you missed that earlier, you could put it in your garage if you really wanted to.
Correct.
Like residential power unit type stuff.
And I'm kind of starting to want to.
Yeah. The outlet your dryer can run off of. It could
Yes.
probably power this thing. I don't promise that though, so you may want to consult your electrician.
That's a Ben guarantee.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
So-
honestly, if you need support on it, you're probably
Right.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
Right.
Yep.
We
Okay.
will call in ourselves
I
through
call.
the regular support channels and reach
Yeah.
people like that.
Reach Ben, reach Chad. You know, it's great. So anyway, Brother Bear, good to see you.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Yeah, man. We're gonna walk back to the front and send people home.
So I've
Hey.
Almost done though. All right, so now, that was a lot of information there. Full booth overview of Langmuir Systems and Shop Saver CNC. They're just good people, man. They make good machines. Watch your back. They make good machines at good prices that are meant to work. We use the hell out of our CNC plasma table. Really excited to start pushing the Langmuir machines we got, the MR1 and the Titan 25T. Really a shocking amount of capability that we've been able to add to our shop for really good cost. And can't wait to get that laser cutter right there. So again, it is Friday, getting toward the end of the day here in Indianapolis, Friday. The show goes for one more day. So if you want to make an impulsive decision and drive up here to Indy to hang out with us at the booth, 5621, do it. Jump on a plane, come hang out.
some of the prices of a plane might be cheaper than.
Yeah, the money you save by being here to make some deals may justify the trip cost and then some. So do that. If you can't do that, which I totally understand, shopsaver.com, langmuirsystems.com. Lots of cool deals, lots of cool stuff. So please like and subscribe if you like the kind of stuff we do here at Lift Arc Studios. Follow Shop Saver on Instagram and YouTube. Follow Langmuir Systems on Instagram and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram for all the custom stuff we build using all this amazing equipment. And we appreciate y'all's support. I have not had a drink of water in 2 hours. My throat really hurts, so I'm gonna go do that. Thank you so much for watching. DM us, email them if you got any questions. PRI 2024. I'm out.